We also acknowledge our other listeners and viewers across the globe who are joining us via the YouTube IITA videos. We say thank you, yes, for joining us. We're live and we're transmitting. Thank you. Yes, we also have IITA TV. Yes, yeah, thank you. All right. While we're at it, I will also quickly like to say that the farmers outreach that held last year for our maize farmer also witnessed a remarkable impact. Yes, if you go to our website now, you see videos of some of the participants that we visited their farms who have applied the knowledge that they gained through this outreach. So this is what we're also looking at this farmers outreach, such that you can pass knowledge to other farmers and of course, be able to implement these techniques that you will learn today on your farmland. Thank you.
igbó òun náà ní ipa lórí àwọn ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ tá à ń gbìn. So a dẹ̀ ti ń òyìn dẹ̀ kọ́ wa pé ká máa jẹ́ kí oko wa kó máa mọ́, igbó ò gbọ́dọ̀ mọ́ gẹ̀dẹ̀, kò ní níláárí, kò sì ní mú tó dáa jáde fún wa. Ẹ̀kejì ni pé ká máa tún ìdí ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ tá a bá fẹ́ gbìn, ká máa tún ìdí ẹ̀ ṣe, tí wọ́n ń pè ní pé ká clean sọ́kà wa. So ìyẹn náà mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ṣe, ìyẹn náà dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ dáadáa. So ADOITA wọ́n really ṣe àwọn nǹkan tó dáa nípa gbígbé ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yẹn kalẹ̀. Lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí oko la ti ń rìn káàkiri láti àárọ̀ yìí, àbá ti kan àwọn ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ tí ó ti wó dànù rẹpẹtẹ, ṣùgbọ́n nítorí pé à ń tẹ̀lé ìlànà tí ADOITA gbé kalẹ̀, ó jẹ́ ká sì lè sustain àwọn ọ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ wa míì on stand even títí di ìsìn yìí.
Welcome to Maize, an evolving community where trees stand tall, people thrive, and nature finds its way back home. In 2021,
ní iléèwé Ọ̀ṣun State College of Education Ìláràngbò mo kọ́ nípa ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ kọ̀ǹpútà. Bọ̀ látìgbà tá a ti parí tá a ríṣẹ́ ṣe, a ní láti bọ́ sí oko láti máa dáko. Látàrí pé àdáko ni mo ti pàdé ọ̀rẹ́ mi ní online tó ti ṣàlàyé bọ́n ṣe máa ń gbin ẹ̀wà fún mi. Bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé a ti ń gbìn tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀, bọ̀ bó ṣe kọ́ mi ó yàtọ̀ sí bá a ṣe ń gbìn tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀. Tó kọ́ mi bá ṣe máa fi ajílẹ̀ sí táwa ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ ó yàtọ̀ sí ìtọ́wọ̀n kọ́ mi ní online tá a ti
parí díẹ̀ náà yẹn o.
láti ìgbà yẹn tá a ti wá ń ṣe báyìí ló ti wá láti rí ìyàtọ̀ sí tá à ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀. Láti ìgbà yẹn láti dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run pé a rí èrè tó pọ̀ jẹ ń bẹ̀.
I'm a partaker and a beneficiary of Radio IoT Farmers Outreach. The training was very impactful. I happened to be a banana farmer, so to speak, earlier, but when I got the insight from the training on how to go about plantation, I decided to go venture into plantain farming as well. And what we learned during the training gave me that zeal much more even to venture into it. After the training, what was taught, I implemented it on my farmland and it's bringing good yield than ever. And most interesting part of the training was the macro propagation stage, which I ventured into it very well. And the way the thing grew is so magnificent, and I'm intending to teach my other farmers, and more so intending farmer willing to go into plantain plantation and banana farming. This plantain and banana outreach even is a very more enlightening and interesting part of the program. And I'm an olivatrice, like I said. I will be willing more even to have more experience to partake in this farmers outreach program organized by Radio IITA once again. Thank you and God bless.
Ẹ ṣe àdìpé àti ń parí àwọn nǹkan tí à ń ṣe. All right.
Before now, I had little knowledge about cassava farming. I'm already a farmer, but I don't have the required knowledge that I needed. And so when I was invited for the Radio IITA Cassava Farmers Outreach, I was fully imparted with knowledge, starting from land preparation, the way you are going to handle the stem, the way you are going to plant it, how many months you are going to wait for the cassava to be matured, and then different variety of cassava. Before now, I was aware of only TME 419. So when I attended the outreach, that was where I know about different and variety of the cassava that we have. We have Obasanjo 02, Baba 70, Game Changer, different cassava varieties like that, and different things that we can use each of these variety for. So after the training, I went to BIC to order for my cassava stem, and this is one of what you are seeing today that I planted after the lecture. I want to really appreciate Radio IITA, because if not for them, I wouldn't have been a better person. You know, they said knowledge is power. So let me say the outreach gave me power, more knowledge. In fact, I am now a consultant to so many other people that most people don't even know the variety of cassava that we have. But after the training, I was fully imparted with knowledge that I'm also ready to spread to other farmers. And I look towards that you'll be able to do more so that people like me, they will come out. You know, I'm a woman, it's really a very tedious one, but then it's because of that knowledge that you can do it, you can make it. That is what actually inspired me. And today, this is my farm. As you can see, I have like 5, 10, 8 acres here that I planted cassava, and you know, by this time next year, I will be smiling to bank. Thank you once again, Radio IITA, for this opportunity that you have given to me. And I'm not going to let this knowledge be within me alone. I'm ready to spread the good news.
I've benefited a lot, and my members have benefited with the training I attended at IIT Radio in Ibadan. I brought the knowledge back to them, and I've been teaching them a lot that I gained from them, especially in the area of planting. We don't understand how to plant our cassava in a straight way. When I came back, I told them that we can plant like this. They were all surprised. And I went on radio too. I speak much about it, how to plant cassava, and area of processing too. Because we attended processing factory at IIT Radio, I teach them how to do kukuru, cassava flowers, all those many things they teach us there. Even some don't know that cassava leaf can become vegetable that can use to cook our soup. I want to go on large scale commercial farming, and I want the members of Cassava Grower Association in those states to be on commercial purpose, not just farming for your family, not just doing a backyard farming. Let's do it in a commercial way. Let's do it as a business.
IITA could have changed it further beyond just doing something for my home and then launching out to a commercial level, because all I've ever thought of was do something, put food on the table. But having tried my hands on it now, I know that I can do it on a larger scale. So that has been an encouragement and a message passed down from IITA. With the way things are going in Nigeria, a lot of people need to get into agriculture, especially women. Although we have some smallholder women, but they should be encouraged to go into large-scale commercial farming and not remain at the level of smallholder farmers. My perception about agriculture generally, well, I have always had interest in agriculture, but coming to IITA and attending that training has made me understand that I can go beyond doing it on a small scale to a larger scale. Of course, with IITA holding my hand along the way, and then so that I don't stumble.
I was one of the beneficiaries of IITA radio training some couple of months ago. So we have been given Samaz 52 maize to go and plant on our farm. The experience I gained out of the training is a tremendous one. It's enabled me to improve in my farm. So I planted this maize on the 27th of August 2024. As you can see, it has matured now. I want to leave it at seed so that other farmers in the community will be able to benefit from it. Part of the training being given to us is good agricultural practice. For instance, the measurement of the spacing. So it is 25 centimeter by 50 centimeter. And that is what I have inculcated here in my farm. And I was able to get a very good result. As you can see the maize here. And the seed, Samars 52, is a very good seed. As you can see, it has grains to the brim. What I want to tell my fellow farmers is this: we should endeavor to go to trainings. If we are being called or invited to seminars on how to improve our farm produce, to key in and gain more benefits. As part of agricultural practice that I inculcated there, I saw that the way I'm doing it before now, it has improved. So this is one thing I want to give the IITA radio a kudos for. So I truly benefited out of the training and I introduced it here. And I want to believe from now onward, this is the best practice that I'm going to be using.
So why do you need Dettol 12-hour protective shield?
ẹ̀yin bàbá wa ẹ̀yin ọmọ wa báyìí tó lọ náà díẹ̀díẹ̀. Viewers online, we're just before we proceed, you too can have a tea break at home or wherever it is you're watching us from. We're having a tea break here, after which we will continue with the program. Thank you for joining us. There were comments made about a video shortly. Uh, one of the beneficiaries of the farmers outreach holding a yam tuber. That is not the final. If you watch the video towards the end, that's not the final the product, the tuber. It and what it looks like. It also started very late. That's the little explanation. There are some concerns. Yes, I hope that has been addressed a little. Thank you. Until a bá fẹ́ mu tíì a máa pè yín lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan tẹ́ ẹ bá fẹ́ mu tíì. Gentlemen, as we continue with the program, the Radio IITA's Farmers Outreach for our maize farmers, I'd like to invite the IITA Radio IITA lead, Ms. Daji Odok, for a short remark. Then we'll have the presentation from the maize improvement program of IITA. A round of applause, please.
Great farmers. I know our mouths are full. Great farmers. Good morning, everyone. Ekabo. Thank you for coming to the Radio IITA Maize Farmers Outreach for the year. It's actually our second outreach. We had food safety in, I think, March. Yes, and then this is the second. So it's a great privilege to have you here with us today. And we hope that you learn as much as you can. Please open your mind to receiving, to unlearning some of the practices we've been taught in the time past that hasn't been yielding good results. You know, if you keep doing the same thing and keep expecting a different result, it's not going to be possible. So let's try something new today. You're going to learn a lot from these scientists sitting here. These are the developers of the technology that will be taught you today. So I hope that you open up your minds and accept whatever it is they're going to teach you today. They will teach you how to use the technology and then show you. That's the essence of this meeting today. We called you here so that we can teach you and then empower you with the technology that has been, that will help improve your yields and of course your livelihoods too. So at the end of this session, we're going to have a post-test. We had a pre-test, and the essence is to know your level of knowledge about maize farming. And then there's going to be a post-test after this to also know how much you have learned. And if you were here during the, when the videos were playing for the Farmer of the Year award, it's something we'll want to do towards the end of the year, which is rewarding anyone who is going to actually implement, take it a step further to implement whatever you're going to learn here today. We're going to award that farmer for each crop. So we're going to have a Farmer of the Year for maize. We're going to have a Farmer of the Year for cowpea, for soybean, all the mandate crops of our ITA. So after this meeting today, we expect you to upload, replicate what you learned by teaching people in your community, your friends, your colleagues, your family. Record it. It doesn't have to be professionally done, right? Record it, show us what you're doing, step by step, how you teach them, how you replicated the planting, the agronomic practices that you were taught here today, and then the process of your maintenance of your farm to harvest. Because at the end of the year, we also have what we call impact visits. We expect you to invite us to your farm to see what you were able to achieve. Like you saw the impact stories of farmers from last year for all the crops. So we expect you to do that. Then the videos and the pictures you're going to be sending to us on the Maize platform is also going to help us because we'll pass the videos and the materials to them to help us choose who actually did well. It's a competition who actually did well at the end of the year. We couldn't have one last year because of the rainy season. It delayed a lot of things, and then a lot of people who planted didn't get much results. So we are combining both last year and this year. So at the end of the year, we'll send all those materials to them for those who participate. I mean, who will send in their videos and pictures. So we'll send to them. They will help us choose the winners, and then we'll invite you. It's going to be a very big event, and then award you for being a very good student. So thank you again for coming to the Farmers Outreach, and I hope that we'll see you again sometime towards the end of the year, smiling, and of course, telling us your story. Thank you very much.
A round of applause again for Ms. Daji Odok, Radio IIT lead. We now get into the program proper. We'll now invite Ms. Plant Breeder in IITA, Dr. Meseka Silvestro, for his presentation this morning. A round of applause for him. ẹ̀yin bàbá wa àtẹ̀yin màmá wa ẹ̀rọ wọ̀nyí tó má ti parí wọ́n á ṣe ní Yorùbá so a lè gbọ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ but English ló fẹ́ fi ṣe báyìí tó má ti parí wọ́n á fi Yorùbá tẹ̀lé yes Dr. Sylvester.
Okay, so many mics around. Yeah, good morning, colleagues. Normally, I difference, but we are all farmers. We appreciate your presence, it guiding you through some basic steps on maize production so that you are able to produce maize. But this is the learning process that we take you through. Oh, this maize, how it came to West Africa. So what are the reasons? Relative good extension services in those. We want to see the importance of maize, why maize is so important. Maize is so important that more than now, maize, of course, it is eaten in different ways, as you well know. There could be a fresh maize eaten. Oh, chance for you to know is that Nigeria is the things are not there. But if you are, will you see people is all along the road? You can stop, which means it's a very important crop. But also, it is also used for baby food, like the Nestle company, they make is from maize. And stock industry, which is the major food comes from maize. So maize is an important crop, and you have made a good choice to come and learn how to grow it. I already know how to, but we want to discuss with you together how you can grow it more and more. Now, the demand for maize is always growing, as I just stated earlier, because it can be as even a raw material in the industry, that is a feed and it's a fodder. And then the population across sub-regions, they use it. They use it, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. And it is good in household income to grow fresh maize, for example, you harvest it right from the field, you sell it to somebody, that's it, you get your money. Then that's one which you dry, you also now shell it, and then you sell it at that level. Now, one of the important thing with maize is the high yield compared to other. You see, 1 ear of the maize has at least 500 grains. So if we have so many of that one, good ones, which means you have a lot of crop to harvest. Without problem, there are problems that you face maize. The lack of good seed. I think that's where you are here today. But we will also discuss with you, find out where you get your seed source from. The pest and disease like the fall armyworm, as you are well aware, the streak, the blight, and other diseases that actually attack maize right in the field. For some of you, maybe, okay, this is only Oyo. Maybe Northern Oyo, the striga is there. Striga is one of the important constraints to maize production. But also soil degradation, as you can see in that picture there, this picture here, on nitrogen. You can see if you grow your maize there without enough fertilizer, you will not be able to harvest enough for your family and for even the market. There are other inputs like the fertilizer. It's also a problem. There's a lack of fertilizer. Sometimes it's not lack of fertilizer, but affordability. You will not get enough money to buy enough fertilizer. And then also the funding of the source of the funding, like the loan, like the banks, is the bank can borrow, grow your maize, and then at the end of the season, you pay back. Constraints is like the implement, like the tractor, at the time you field. And the abiotic stress is like the three that you can see down here. There is drought, there is heat stress that burns the top of the maize, but also there is flood. There are areas that there is flood. Now, other constraints is the labor force. If you have a labor, really labor, good market. But nowadays, maize is appreciated. I mean, as you are aware, the prices are getting every year because of the constraints like fall armyworm, because where you buy a lot of first spray, then the price, of course, you cannot just throw away everything on the price, and the price is paid by the users. It is the low value, but now the value is being appreciated. Now, you need to identify the maize varieties. And there are two main ones. The farmer's local variety. That is the variety the farmer gets from other farmer. And then there is improved variety. Under and also the open pollinated variety. Like Summers 52 that you saw that farmer was talking about, it is a open pollinated, but it's high yielding. So the characteristics of these varieties, once you talk of farmer's variety, you get more than two colors on the same crop. It's variable. The plant height, when you go to the field, you see some tall, some short, because they are made from we come to the open pollinated varieties. They are better than local farmers' variety because they are improved. They are relatively uniform. They tolerate harsh conditions. Hybrids are more uniform. They are high yielding and easy to manage when grow them. But I always say the most of the time farmers shy away from hybrids, that the hybrids take a lot of input. Well, yes, but some of the latest hybrid can be adding up to 50 and kg of the fertilizer. How it looks like. This is hybrid. So it's more uniform. Now, for you, when you are going to grow your maize, what are you growing it for? You have to know it. Is it for home consumption, or you are working for market, or a feed industry like poultry? So that one must be clear for you before you go to start your maize production. Now, the other important thing is the source of seed. I'm sure you have been growing maize over years. If I may just pose you one question now. How do you normally get your seed of maize if you want to grow maize? Anybody can contribute? Okay, okay, in the market. The grain. Okay. Other source? Yeah, okay. I think that is it. Either at the market, you buy the grain, or from friends, yeah, or agro dealer. Yeah, so agro dealer or the seed companies, if they have a presence where, I mean, here in Southwest, there are not more seed companies are here, like in Kaduna and Kano, those places up north there. But still, I think there are people who are making efforts. I know some like seed company, Professor Olakoju, and then Gold Agri, and then some of them. So it will be important for you to get your seed from the seed company, because what you are buying from the market is grain. It's not meant for seeds. It's a lot of mixture in it. They just grow that one for grain, and then they're selling it as grain. But for you, because you need to plant maize, you have no source for anywhere, then you went to market. That the yield will not be good enough for you. So you will be spending a lot of time, energy, and money, but you will not get appreciable yield. So are you growing white maize or yellow maize? That one need to be very. Now, there are some basic requirements when you want to grow maize. You have to know the production area where you are growing your maize. Is it a rainforestry? Is it a savanna, or is it the Sudan savanna? I think in Southwest is a humid forest and also a transitional forest. So the rainfall, so you need to target the of. So, but also again, what is important is just like what I explained. Are you growing open pollinated variety or hybrid? Of course, the source must be very clear, like just where I explained. And for planting must be known. So when there is a spell, you lose your crop. Other inputs, as you're preparing to go and plant your maize, inputs like fertilizer, the pesticides, and the herbicide, they should be handy. You should have some. And from good source, usually. Don't. Of course, the home use, or it is for market, we have already talked about that. Now, what is important also is storage facility. You will embark on growing maize. I want to grow maize, then you grow your maize, forgetting about at the harvest where to store it. That must be very clear from the beginning. Of course, I talked about rainfall, distribution of, and the duration of rain must be enough during the time of planting out the life of maize, so that you are in a very good condition, and that all the money. The relative humidity should be very high or low. Low during the harvest time, because you need to dry the seed, I mean the grain, so that to keep the quality of the grain, there should be no low relative humidity. The soils must be fair, fertile, grain soils, grow your maize. I will show you some pictures of maize. You need to have it. Yeah. Then it comes to site selection now. I'm sure maybe most of you have already planted. If you have not planted, you are about to plant. But before planting, you have to choose the site where you are going to grow that maize. It is very, very important. It must be accessible, because you are going to harvest. But even before harvest, you are going to take inputs there like a fertilizer. If it is deep in the forest, how can you work? It must be accessible, so that when you bring your inputs, you are able to take it to your farm. And then at the end of the day also, when you are harvesting, you are able to pack them out of the field in a good manner. Now, you have to choose a field based on a cropping history. Because when you go in place growing different crops, you need to know of the field where you're going to grow that. Who was grown there before? Was it sorghum? Was it cassava? This must be very level. Rich, then you can plant the cowpea and the soybean. They have that nitrogen fixation into the soil, and then they improve the soil fertility. So always when you choose your soil, I mean your site, the low soil fertility. You also have to consider the topography. When the gradient is so steep, you may lose the topsoils during the rain. There will be overgrowth. So you need to make sure that that was taken care of. Then you select your field. Now, once you select your field, you need to prepare the field. Land preparation. It can be tractor or you can use hoe. What do you use for your land preparation in practice? You use tractor, okay. Oh, that's fine. So you need to arrange early with the tractor man so that he comes and prepares your field. You have to prepare that field at least 2 weeks before planting. So good time. So once you are planting, of course, we have already talked about the fertilizers, the seed quantity that you are going to, they are all ready. All those things you have already provided them. There is nothing like today that we don't have enough seed or we need fertilizer. You need to prepare everything. Preparation must be properly done because it ensures a good land preparation with that tractor. It ensures the aeration, the air that must move within very well. If the land is not properly prepared, then the maize will not grow. Of course, areas like this in your field, that red thing, that is hard part. So grow maize there, it will not be able to grow. But you see on your left, see how good it has been prepared. So you can grow your maize here. Yeah. In this one, maybe the upper ones, but this part is very hard. So avoid those areas. So the decision you make before planting and during planting, that's what you will harvest at the end of the day. Now, you have to schedule your planting. You need to know the month where you need to plant. Is it April? Is it May or June? So that one must be very clear. Are you ridges or you're planting on the flat? And then, of course, it is good to plant on a straight line. The reason being that is easy to manage. But if you brought, I think most people plant on straight line. Anybody broadcast maize? No, it's on a straight line because it allows you, as you see in this picture down here, straight line. Now, the spacing are either 0.75 meter by 0.25. That is where you thin to one stand. But I know farmers, they don't want to waste their seed. So the best approach will be to plant 2 seeds per hill. That will be 50 centimeters. Okay? 50 centimeters. Plant and plant. That's standard. But so there are people who can plant 35. No, but if you plant 35, you are still going to thin into one, and then you lose the. So if you have all the inputs ready, like fertilizer and everything, you need to also benefit from the population so that the plants translates into harvest. Bring your seed. Like Baba said, he goes to market, buy seed. That's okay. Seed from the good source, if this before you do any planting, you need to do germination test. They might have written on the back there, okay, germination is about 90% or 95%. Prove that. Don't just go, because you don't know how it was installed until the time you get it. So there are different ways of doing that germination test. But the quick one, that you just buy your plastic 3, 4, 5, and then put 10 seeds for each one of them. And then you see you count that in each of the plates, that 10, did they all germinate or only 8 or 7? Then you add them all, take the average. Then you will know that gives you an indicator of your seed germination. There are other tests where you use the paper, hold, and then also count seed, spray with water for 2, 3, 4 days until it germinates. But that one takes time. But easy for you as a farmer, I think I would rather recommend you buy that plastic. Just put 10, 3 replication or 5, and then count. Are we together? Yeah. I hope we are not sleeping. Are you sure? I've spotted some people. I know farmers, they're always there. Yeah, but it's absentee farmers. The absentee farmers, do you know absentee farmers? Absentee farmers are the one sleeping. Absentee farmer is somebody who sends money that, okay, grow a maize for me. He's not there. Then he'll be calling you. Have you planted? How is it growing now? All right. Okay. So planting. Of course, it's very, very important the way you plant your maize. Now you use tractor for field preparation, but how do you plant the maize? You use, we use different ways. This one is not common. This is imported from America. This jack planter. We use also bamboo. Can use bamboo peg. Yeah. What is normally? You use cutlass. Oh, okay. Or hoe or a stick. Yeah, whichever works better for you. But make sure you don't plant it deep in soil, so that when it begins to germinate, it takes more time. Yeah. Now, you use the hoe or the cutlass or the peg, to plant your maize. I was talking about earlier. I am just repeating it here. Because the tractor may mark 75 or 80. What the tractor, another 20 centimeters. To apply your fertilizer. Normally, how do you apply your fertilizer when you grow your maize? I know there are people also who grow maize without fertilizer application in good soils. They still get some. Anybody, how do you apply a fertilizer? Or you don't? You do apply fertilizer 2 weeks after. Okay. Okay, that's fine. You use a spoon or you use a plastic top hand. Then you don't know how much you eh? It's not measured, yeah. But the minerals, yeah. Some people use the cup of minerals. Okay. Yeah. So that you are able to manage. Now you apply weeks. The time when the plant has really root to grow. But you need to top dress with urea. That's 4 weeks after. There are two types, or there are many in the most found get the urea, which you just said, and then you need urea. This is you need for top dressing. Sometimes you will be pushed down with the finance. Best you can harvest a bumper crop. In addition to fertilizer application, of course, there are weeding that you do, but there is one thing that many times people are not doing: the earthy soil, the root. So that one prevents your plant from falling. It helps the maize to anchor its roots if there is any wind blowing around, it can't move. You can see this picture here. Have you seen the picture, this small picture here? Yeah. So it prevents the lodging. Now, the weeding itself properly. You need to know the time when to weed. Don't weed late, because if you weed late, like this picture in the middle here, the weeding has not taken place, but you see the maize being overtaken by weeds. This one here, the weeding has not started well. There is also drought. But 35%. You will not grow a bumper crop. You are losing. So people who can use the chemicals, there are different types of the of course, we are not recommending what we propose what other farmers did. Use 1 to 1.5 liters active ingredient in about 60 liters of water. That's a lot, but easy to have a spray, which means it goes back to the labor. So once you are preparing to grow your maize, prepare very well. Now, by hand weeding, you need to do at least 2 weeding. Do first one, as in that picture I show you, like this one here. Do first one like this. Sorry. First one. Let's see in corner. The floor we growing here, it will not compete. But many times I've seen so many farms, people propose or they weeding once. And I ask why, say it is costly. So, but I don't know, how many do you your maize? The reason being, it's a costly. Is it? It's hard. Them. You need to help inside for source so that you are able to spray the let's have one glass. And then the spray should go right into the wall so that it gets the insects. Otherwise, it will not be moving around properly, I think you will not get anything out of it. Now, we have imagined that we right, we prepare the field. Meter or 55 centimeter. Which is how do you plant the distance between one plant of maize? It's 50 by 75. Oh, but you go for thinning. Plant without thinning. You do thinning. But if you plant 50, there are two. That farmers, they don't want to waste their seed. You know, the thinning is really like a wasting of seed. So, yeah. Okay, depending on the land. Yeah. So we have planted, we have, and then now we want to harvest. When you fresh maize, if you are, then harvest your maize. At which time? Okay. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Of maize grain, if you pick the maize grain, so you need to prepare. We talk of have store. Then the harvesting bags, if you're the labor, are you using the family labor? Once because there are things that the quality is brought. So for us, we in, in addition, also you see between anything below that the maize is ready to be planted. Also, as a farmer not using that, that's why you the black layer at the bottom of the grain to give you that. You can see this farmer here is harvested and then it's also packed in the store. So this store is just for transitional period that you okay. It's time to look for but they do their market survey before even planting. They want to know maize goes where, how which color is it? What I will talk about, the moisture meter, this is for research. It's not for you. That followed, use the thresher. Use your thresher stick. What do you thresher? You hire them. All right. Thank you.
A round of applause for Dr. Silvestro. Ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, ẹ̀yin màmá wa, ẹ ṣé gan ni fún àsìkò yín. Àwọn ọ̀gá wa, Dr. Idris, wọ́n máa bá wa tún díẹ̀ ní àsìkò kékeré tí wọ́n ní àwọn nǹkan tí wọ́n ti sọ, wọ́n bá wa sọ ní èdè Yorùbá, wọ́n á tún sọ fún wa nísìn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ bá wa pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ o. No problem. Thank you. That's fine. Ẹ kú jókòó lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Kan lára àwọn ọ̀gá wa ni wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ tán lórí kí ni àwọn nǹkan tí ó yẹ fún wa láti ṣe. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí wọ́n sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀, màá wá gbìyànjú láti gé e ní kúkúrú lórí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan tí wọ́n ti ṣe ní àlàyé. Nínú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ, wọ́n kọ́kọ́ gbé wa lọ látorí níbo ni àgbàdo ti ṣẹ̀ wá, báwo ló dẹ̀ ṣe dé ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, àti ìgbà tó ti dé ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀, báwo la ṣe ń gbìn, ìgbà wo ló tó di nǹkan tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn èèyàn wá ń sọ di owó nílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Gbogbo yẹn ni wọ́n kọ́kọ́ gbé wa rìnrìn àjò ẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà náà ni wọ́n ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá ṣe àlàyé fún wa lórí tá a bá tiẹ̀ wá fẹ́ sọ pé a fẹ́ gbin àgbàdo, kí ni àwọn n tó jẹ́ ìṣe tá a gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ mú lò kí a lè bá rí èrè oko tó dángájíá. Wọ́n wá gbé wa rin oríṣiríṣi ìrìn àjò. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ látorí kí a kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ dájú wípé oríṣiríṣi àgbàdo ní ń bẹ. Bá a ṣe ní àgbàdo funfun, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la ní àgbàdo yẹ́lò, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà la sì ní ìtànpè ní orange. So oríṣiríṣi àwọn àgbàdo yìí pẹ̀lú bí wọ́n ṣe gbé oríṣiríṣi àwọ̀, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà dẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tí ó ń fún wọn ní àwọn àwọ̀ wọ̀nyí tá a fi ń dá wọn mọ̀ yàtọ̀ síra wọn. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn àgbẹ̀ máa ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ wa tá a bá jáde àbí tá a bá ṣètò ètò àgbẹ̀ lérè àbí ọ̀làjú àgbẹ̀ lórí rédíò àti lórí amóhùnmáwòrán. Wọ́n bi wá léèrè, wọ́n ti bi mí léèrè níjọ́ kan rí pé tó láyé ìgbà kan rí oríṣiríṣi àgbàdo la máa ń rí, bá a ṣe ń rí funfun là ń rí, wọ́n tiẹ̀ ní pupa ni, èmi ò mọ̀ sí pupa náà. So wọ́n ṣàpè lóríṣiríṣi, mo wá ní pé láyé ìsìn àwọn ò rí mọ̀, mo wá ní gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ní bẹ́ẹ̀, àmọ́ ibi tá a bá ìletò tó ń kálukú bá wà, n tí ó bá wà lárọ̀ọ́wọ́tó àwọn èèyàn lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà bí n táwọn èèyàn bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí, òun náà làwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ètò àwọn àgbàdo ìjáde tó fi ń dé ọwọ́ àwọn àgbẹ̀, òun ni tọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ máa ń nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí. So kò kí ń ṣe pé bóyá àwọn ò sí mọ́, gbogbo ẹ̀ làwa ní níbí, gbogbo ẹ̀ la dẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí. Àmọ́ ohun tí wọ́n bá gbé síta fáwọn àgbẹ̀, òun lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń táwọn àgbẹ̀ máa ń ṣe kíni tí wọ́n máa ń rí. Làwa náà ṣe wá ń rò wípé ó kúkú ń dà ká máa ṣe àwọn ètò kọ̀ọ̀kan tí ó máa jẹ́ ká lè ní àǹfààní láti lè máa bá àwọn àgbẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀, ká dẹ̀ lè máa fún wọn ní òye wípé tó àwọn nǹkan báyìí ń bẹ o, àwọn àgbàdo báyìí ń bẹ o, tó bá yàtọ̀ sáwọn ìtẹ́ tí ń gbìn ní ìtawà nígbàgbọ́ pé lóòótọ́ ó yàtọ̀ torí ẹ̀ la ṣe gbérò ètò yìí kalẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ lè mọ̀ wípé irú àwọn àgbàdo tó tún ju tó ní èrè ju irú àwọn ìtẹ́ tí ń gbìn lọ ó wà báwo lẹ ṣe lè ṣe kíni ló ṣe lè tẹ̀yìn lọ́wọ́. So wọ́n wá ṣe àlàyé lórí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí tá a bá fẹ́ gbin àgbàdo lórí oko wa kí la gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ ṣe. Èyí tó kọ́kọ́ dájú ni wọ́n ní kí á jẹ́ kó yé wa wípé a gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ mú ilẹ̀ tó dáa wọ́n dẹ̀ fi àpẹẹrẹ ibo la ti fẹ́ gbìn ṣé irú àwa tá a wà ní òkè ọya à ń pe àwọn ibẹ̀ yẹn ní savannah àwa tá a wà lọ́wọ́ ìsàlẹ̀ ń bì à ń pè ní rainforest or humid environment. So òjò pọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n ń bì ń ló jẹ́ kó gba orúkọ tí wọ́n ń fún un báyẹn tá a bá ní ká fi wé bí irú òkè ọya. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ wọ́n wá sọ̀rọ̀ lórí tá a bá wá fẹ́ ṣe ètò ilẹ̀ yẹn báwo la ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe tó ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ rí tó fi jẹ́ wípé tá a bá gbin àgbàdo lè ṣe dáadáa. Nígbà míì tílẹ̀ ò bá dáa tá a bá gbin àgbàdo wọ́n fi irú àwòrán bẹ́ẹ̀ hàn wá wọ́n ń pe kinní kan ní hard pan tí ẹ bá bígbà tá a bá fọ́ sìmẹ́ǹtì téèyàn wá rí fọ́tán bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe fi hàn wá tá a bá gbin àgbàdo tí irú àwọn kinní yẹn bá sùn lé àgbàdo tá a gbìn mọ́lẹ̀ kò ní jẹ́ kágbàdo ó lè dìde yóò dàgbà tán bá gbé ẹrù wúwo lúru èèyàn lórí náà ní tán wá ní tò kéèyàn olú ẹ̀ náà dìde ibi ẹ bá ti ń gbìyànjú àti gbé dìde gbogbo agbára lèèyàn ó lò tán nígbà èèyàn bá fi lóun gbé dìde gan-an yóò ti rẹ olú ẹ̀ ìkànkàn náà ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ náà sí àgbàdo tá a bá gbìn táwọn hard pan yẹn bá sùn lé mọ́lẹ̀ yóò nira fágbàdo náà láti jáde tó bá tiẹ̀ wá padà jáde tán gbogbo agbára tó yẹ kó fi dìde kó fi dàgbà kó fi wu ewé àkọ́kọ́ ó ti lu gbogbo ẹ̀ tán ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà yóò kàn kúrú mọ́lẹ̀ náà ni kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe fẹ́ ṣe kò ní yọmọ gidi. So wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ká ṣe ilẹ̀ wa kó dáa kó rí lúbúlúbú kó kúnná lọ́wọ́ ó jẹ́ nǹkan pàtàkì tí ó lè jẹ́ kí àgbàdo kó tètè jáde nínú ilẹ̀ kó dẹ̀ lè fún wa lérè oko gidi. Wọ́n wá jẹ́ kó tún yé wa wípé lẹ́yìn ìgbà tá a bá mú ilẹ̀ tán tá a dẹ̀ ṣètò ilẹ̀ tílẹ̀ dúró dáadáa ká wá mọ irú àgbàdo wo gan la fẹ́ gbìn. Ẹnìkan pè mí yóò tó bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi méjì sẹ́yìn láti ilẹ̀ Lọ́kọjà wọ́n wá ní àwọn gbọ́ ètò wa tá à ń ṣe lórí rédíò a ṣe ètò náà ní bí ọ̀sẹ̀ bíi márùn-ún àbí mẹ́fà sẹ́yìn wọ́n wá láwọn ń gbọ́ ètò yẹn báwọn ń travel ni and èmi náà mo wà lórí ètò ìjọ náà wọ́n wá ní ibẹ̀ làwọn ti gẹ́ẹ̀tì kọ́ńtáàtì wa táwọn fi pè wá pé àwọn nídìí àwọn fẹ́ ra àgbàdo mo wá ṣàlàyé fún wọn ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí ètò iléeṣẹ́ wa níbí kì í ṣe pé bóyá ń ta àgbàdo fáwọn àgbẹ̀ torí iṣẹ́ táwa gbé kalẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ìwádìí ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ni tá a bá ti wá wádìí tá a ti rí tá a dẹ̀ ti gbìyànjú láti develop àgbàdo yẹn in táwa gbọ́dọ̀ ní láti ṣe ni ká ti fi lé àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń release variety lọ́wọ́ àwọn ni wọ́n wàá ṣe oríṣiríṣi ìdánwò lé lórí láti fi jẹ́rìí ṣé n tá a pè é òun lórí tán bá bá a bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n wàá ṣètò báwo ni wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ release ẹ̀ as a variety fún àwa àgbẹ̀ kọ́ ọ wálé kó lè máa tó wọ́n ṣe mítìnì kan níjẹta wọ́n sì gba bí àgbàdo 3 àbí 4 wọlé níjẹta lọ́gìlọ́ láìpẹ́ so níbo là ń lọ ni pé wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa pé a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ irú àgbàdo wo la fẹ́ gbìn funfun ni yẹ́lò ni àbí ọ́rẹ́njì tá a bá ti mọ irú ìfẹ́ ìta fẹ́ ká dẹ̀ ṣe kíni ká wá mọ níbo la ti fẹ́ rà á wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa tá a bá lọ ra àgbàdo lọ́jà ní tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ gbogbo wa náà là ń ṣe àmọ́ à ń jẹ́ kó yé àwọn èèyàn pé àgbàdo tí wọ́n ń tà fún wa lọ́jà tá a bá dọ́dà ọjà Bódìjà àbá Adémọ́níyà ni àbá rí tí wọ́n lé àgbàdo kalẹ̀ tí wọ́n bù sínú abọ́ tí wọ́n ń tà fún wa in tí wọ́n ń tà onírúurú ló wà ń bẹ̀ ní tó ń jẹ́ pé tá a bá rà á tá a bá la fẹ́ lọ gbìn lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ èrè táàrí kò lè rí bákan náà àgbàdo tẹ́ bá rà ńgbẹ́ bá gbìn lórí oko eléyìí lè ga kí mi dàbí èmi kó kúrú báyìí ìmí lẹ́nu ìmí tiẹ̀ lè sórí kọ́ báyìí so oríṣiríṣi ni ó jáde ńbẹ̀ so wọ́n wá ń jẹ́ kó yọ pé ká gbìyànjú ká má máa ra àgbàdo láti ọjà àwọn oríṣiríṣi seed company wà tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n ti ń release wọ́n ti ń ta àwọn variety onírúurú àgbàdo tí wọ́n ti release tó jẹ́ wípé ní tá a bá gbìn wọ́n sórí oko bí wọ́n ṣe jáde wọ́n jọra wọn tán bá jọra wọn ọmọ tí wọ́n gbé náà ó jọra wọn ní tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé yóò fún wa ní iṣẹ́ díẹ̀ láti ṣe nígbà tá a bá ṣe kí ni tá a bá ká wọn lórí oko tá a bá sọ pé bóyá a fẹ́ tà wọ́n àbí bó láti ṣe sọ nígbà tá a bá ká àgbàdo lórí oko táwọn kan dàbí tí wọ́n funfun díẹ̀ àwọn kan dàbí tí wọ́n rí rẹ́súrẹ́sú bí omi aró a ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa yọ wọ́n kò nu ara wọn kó tó di wípé a sọ pé àwọn eléyìí wọ́n jọra wọn a lè tà wọ́n àwọn eléyìí àmọ́ tá a bá ti ṣèdánwò yìí láti ilẹ̀ yóò ti múru irú iṣẹ́ yẹn lọ́jọ́ iwájú yóò ti mú kúrò ńbẹ̀ yóò dẹ̀ tún jẹ́ kí èrè oko tí a rì kó lè jọ wá lójú nígbà tá a bá ká èrè oko wa wọ́n wá jẹ́ kó yé wa pé tá a bá ti wá gbin àgbàdo àwọn àgbàdo wọ̀nyí kí ni àwọn nǹkan tí a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe wọ́n mú wa lọ báwo la ṣe gbọ́dọ̀ gbìn wọ́n ìwọ̀n ẹsẹ̀ bàtà mélòó a dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ gbìn wọ́n lóòrò báyìí kì í ṣe pé kákan dóko ká sọ pé tó láyé ìgbà kan bá ṣe máa ń gbìn ni pé tá a bá ti dóko tí n bá tẹ̀lé ìyá mi ìyá bàbá mi lóko wọ́n á di ní okòwò ìjìnà síbi ìsẹ́yìn ni ọmọ sẹ́yìn lèmi a bá ti wá dóko nígbà wà ń kéékèèké yóò wá kó àgbàdo fún wa òun ni a máa fọ́n káàkiri oko àtọ́ka bàbá so wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa pé tá a bá ṣe báyẹn a lè rí èrè oko tó múnádóko tá a bá gbìn ní ìró báyìí ìró kọ̀ọ̀kan yóò fún wa lórí ọ̀fẹ́ láti lè rìn nínú ẹ̀ ká lè mọ n tá a bá fẹ́ ṣe lẹ́yìn náà wọ́n wá jẹ́ kó yé wa pé tó àgbàdo nílò oúnjẹ o gẹ́gẹ́ báwa náà ṣe nílò oúnjẹ tá à ń jẹ tá a fi ń ṣe ìgbé ayé oúnjẹ tí àgbàdo náà nílò òun náà ni à ń pè ní fertilizer so yóò ní the nitrogen phosphorus àti potassium ní ìtọ́wá jẹ́ pé wọ́n wà nínú fertilizer yẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó yé wa ìwọ̀nba tá a lè lò àwọn náà mọ̀ pé lóòótọ́ àti ra fertilizer ò rọrùn àti rí àtọwò tá a fi rà gbogbo wa náà la mọ̀ tí ló ń sọ àmọ́ ká gbìyànjú torí ọ̀rọ̀ àgbàdo dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ń tá a bá fún lòun náà ó fún wa padà bá a bá ṣe ṣètọ́jú ẹ̀ ńlèrè tóun náà ó fún wa padà bọ́rọ̀ rẹ̀ ṣe rí nìyẹn so tá a bá ní a fẹ́ rojú owó díẹ̀ òun náà gbìyànjú láti jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ìwọ̀nba ojú owó tá a ro yẹn o ọ̀nà tó gbà pa òun náà lára rèé o so èrè tẹ́ẹ̀rì òun náà nìyí wọ́n dẹ̀ tún jẹ́ kó yé wa àwọn ìmójútó tá a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe lórí oko a gbọ́dọ̀ gbìyànjú oko wa gbọ́dọ̀ máa kún jù wọ́n foríṣiríṣi hàn wá tó kó bá kún lára àwọn ìwádìí tá a ṣe tó kó bá kún mọ́ àgbàdo nídìí tó bá yẹ kó fún wa ní 8 tons per hectare fápẹrẹ ó lè já wálẹ̀ sí 4 yóò wá máa yà wá gan lẹ́nu pé ní tí wọ́n fi àgbàdo ẹ̀kọ́ lórí wọn parọ́ fún wa ni parọ́ tọ́ra wa tá a sọ pé ó lè fún yín ní 8 tons ó lè fún yín ní 10 tons àwọn iṣẹ́ kéékèèké wọ̀nyí la gbìyànjú láti ṣe àjẹkókò kúmọ̀ǹdì àfún ní fertilizer àfún ní ogbon tó yẹ ká fún lásìkò tó béèrè ẹ̀ nígbà tá a dẹ̀ ká èrè oko ìta rí ń bẹ̀ ni a tún gbìyànjú náà láti fáwọn tó jáwọn àgbẹ̀ ń ta àwọn náà wọ́n gbìyànjú láti gbìn a dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé fún wọn bí wọ́n ṣe mójútó wọ́n dẹ̀ mójútó àwọn náà rí n tó súnmọ́ sókótó di pé a lè sọ pé a nígboyà láti sọ fún yín pé tẹ́ ẹ bá gbin àgbàdo yìí o ẹ rí 7 tons ẹ rí 8 tons ẹ rí iye báyìí kótó di pé a ní ìgboyà láti lè sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà náà ni wọ́n wá jẹ́ kó yé wa pé tó tá a bá ṣèmójútó oko wa dáadáa pẹ̀lú báwọn ìlànà táwọn là kalẹ̀ fún wa a ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ láti lè rí èrè tó dáńgájíá wọ́n dẹ̀ jẹ́ kó yé wa kí làwọn mójútó ọ̀hún ká roko sí nídìí ká fún ní fertilizer ká dẹ̀ ṣe kínni ká ṣèmójútó nípa tí àwọn kòkòrò tó lè kó bá gbàdo tán bá ń tẹ́ bá rí pọ́n ń bàjá so kí la lè ṣe àwọn kẹ́míkà tá a lè lò wọ́n tún fún wa láwọn example irú kẹ́míkà tá a lè fi pa wọ́n so lẹ́yìn náà wọ́n jẹ́ kó yé wa báwo la ṣe lè dá àgbàdo wa mọ̀ tó bá di pé a bá fẹ́ ka èrè oko so wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé fún wa a lè kàn mú kan lórí oko ká já ká yá nígbà bá yá ká kàn mọ ọmọ ẹyọ kan ká yọ ká wo ìdí ẹ̀ wọ́n ní kinní kan wá ń bẹ tó dúdú báyìí tó dàbí black layer àwọn ni wọ́n pè é léèbó bẹ́ẹ̀ o wọ́n ní tá bá ti rí kinní dúdú yẹn àsìkò ti tó fún wa nìyẹn ó ti ń sọ fún wa pé àsìkò àti ṣe kinní àti kú òlóko ó ti tó so ká gbìyànjú ká ṣe kinní ká mọ̀ bá ṣe ká èrè oko wa ká dẹ̀ ṣe kinní ká mọ̀ bá ṣe àmójútó bá ṣe pákéjì ẹ̀ tá a dẹ̀ ṣe kinní tá a sọ ẹ̀ dìgbà tí yóò wù wá lọ́kàn láti sọ pé a fẹ́ lọ tà wọ́n lọ́jà so ní ráńpẹ́ láì ní dènà pẹ́nu ìwọ̀nba bí wọ́n ṣe gbogbo ìrìn àjò tí wọ́n gbé wa rìn tí mo rántí ń bẹ̀ òun náà ni mo kàn ra sọ ní kékeré o ẹ ṣeun ẹ kú ìjókòó.
ẹ kú atótónu ẹ kú atótónu dókítà ẹ ṣé gan ni a lérò pé ó yé wa bí wọ́n ṣe sọ ní kékeré ẹ ṣé gan ni so láìpẹ́ nísìnyí a máa lọ sí ibi àti máa ṣe àfihàn gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti kọ́ báyìí ní bíbá practical táwọn olóyìnbó ń pè practical. We'll go to the field now and make a practical demonstration of. Okay, yes, we'll take questions now. Yes. All right, maybe we should just do that immediately. All right. Doctor, we'll be taking two questions now. Yes, so, all right. Your name and... okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful presentation and the teaching. So my name is Adeleke Samuel. So I'm a farmer. And while you were talking, I have a question. The first question is, I have two questions. The first question is, you are talking about the effect of weeding. I actually understand that part, but considering people who farm on a large area of land, for example, like me now, every year I plant nothing less than 30 acres per 20 to 30 acres per time. So what I do most time is, there are selective herbicides for maize. So what we do is, after spraying the first pre-emergence, then around 4th to 5th week, we'll apply the post-emergence, which will now be selective herbicide for maize. Then we leave it till we harvest. Now, is it that we are losing some things, like we are missing some things by not, and at least we are making profits, but is it that we still need to, like that weeding, is it a must that we should do it? So as we are not doing it, is it that we are missing some things? Then another question is, there's one of my uncle that we're talking around maybe 2 years ago, and he said maybe he brought his maize to Itate for drying, or because I don't know, but I heard something like that. So I want to be sure about that, because basically we want to be doing, we want to be buying some hybrid seeds and be producing dry maize during rainy season, because it's always difficult to produce dry maize during rainy season. So if that facility is available, if we can exploit that area. So that's the question I have.
All right, thank you very much. Let Doctor answer quickly.
Yeah, okay, let me start from the last one, the facility for drying during the rain season. We don't have the facility for drying during the dry season, because what we have is a small unit that's used by the farm unit. So we ourselves, even when we are doing a research here, we could not use it. We are using the small dryer in our unit. So that has been one of the challenge. If you want to grow maize for grain during the rain period, drying has always been a challenge. I think the innovations that some other people using in other countries, they build houses and then they stack it up. A lot of things, but that is an area that we all need to think about. Yeah, about the weeding, I think if you do your pre-emergency and then the subsequent post-emergency, you do it twice or once? After planting, immediately? Oh, that is the first one for you. And then the pre-emergency, post. Yeah, pre should take. Okay. No, yeah, what I was saying generally is about the practices that when you are growing maize, I mean, the hand weeding, but the issue is it is also expensive. That one we know it is expensive, but if you can afford it, it could be okay. And then if you do your pre-emergency, then you could use one hand weeding if you can, and then follow by your post-emergency weedicides to take care of the weeds. What we are trying to avoid is that there should not be competition between your maize and the weed, because the weed will divert all the nutrients, all your fertilizer, it goes to the weed, as if you are growing weed. But that's what we are trying to guide against. Yeah, but of course we learn from each other. So your practice, your experiences is also valuable. Yeah? Okay, thank you.
All right, because of our time, we'll just take maybe one or two more because we need to go to the farm before it becomes very sudden. Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning. Thanks for the wonderful lecture. My name is Kozim Babatunde, a farmer from Osun State. Last year, a friend of mine was here during the first training. So he mentioned that they thought that immediately they are planting, that they should put manure and it should be covered against what we are used to. But this year, I observed that nothing like that was being mentioned. Is it that we should reverse back to what we have been doing, or we stick to that? That's number one. Secondly, about the application of NPK, I would like to know, can our usual poultry dungs and let's say normal, what's it called, poultry waste, can it replace NPK? And third, is it possible that someone can plant maize without using herbicide and insecticide? Maybe if there are organic alternatives that we can make use of. So I would like to know that. Then thirdly, the plant population per hectare. I would love to know what we should plant per hectare. So thank you so much.
Thank you. After this, maybe we'll take one more or two then.
Okay, thank you for your questions. I will answer part of it. Idris, will you answer part of it? Yeah, the fertilizer application, last year we demonstrated planting maize with fertilizer. Well, that is more easy. And then it is economical viable because you use the same labor for planting and applying fertilizer at the same time. So there are school of thinking, people are thinking that, oh, you are wasting fertilizer because then the seed has no root at all. But it takes only 5 days, then the maize will germinate and begin to, whatever you lose from the fertilizer will not be really much, maybe less than 10%. So it becomes easy. But the normal practice of 2 weeks is that it has a economic implication because you need another time to come and apply. But if you can do either of the two, do whatever works for you is the best. So, but for me, I can go for planting together with my fertilizer because I use the same labor, and then I move forward. Yeah. The other question is the or the poultry waste. Oh, okay, organic. Yeah, that organic is good, but when are you going to use it? You need to apply it before even field preparation. So if you are in the proximity of having the manure, then that is fine. You apply it early, then you prepare the field. What works faster is the poultry manure. You know, the cow dung takes time, but the poultry manure releases the nutrient very fast, and then you apply as appropriately. Yeah, but of course you are going to buy, and you need people to apply. You will not be doing it every year. If you do this year, you will live another 1 or 2 years, and then you apply again. Yeah. Other things that you need to add.
The plant population. Yeah. If we follow the advice we were given this morning by Dr. Meseka, he said we could, or let me say the optimized population, the planting spacing, 75 inter-row by 50 within rows. So if we follow that calculation, I don't want to bog us with scientific calculations here. So tabatele, intermari, or ta expect lori okowa is around 53,000 plants. Let's just say 53,500, between 53,000 and 54,000 lamari. Tabatele 70 centimeter between rows and 50 centimeter. Àgbàdo méjì wà ńbí, méjì tó máa tẹ̀lé 50 centimeter, méjì tó gbọ́dọ̀ tẹ̀lé 50 centimeter. Tá bá tẹ̀lé báyẹn, a máa ní 53,000, between 53,000 and 54,000 la gbọ́dọ̀ rí ní orí oko wa. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí àfikún lórí àlàyé tí wọ́n ń ṣe, poultry dung tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ kì í ṣe tútù o. Ara àwọn àṣìṣe tó ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa máa ń ṣe nìyẹn. Èmi náà, ọ̀rẹ́ mi kan náà ti ṣe the same thing náà rí. Ó kàn lọ kó ìgbẹ́ adìẹ tó kàn rí ní ẹgbẹ́ poultry kan tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ oko, ó kàn lọ kó ni ló dẹ̀ kó dà sí orí oko. Tá a bá ṣe eléyìí kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó bójúmu tó, because látara pé yóò ṣe àkóbá fún àgbàdo tá a gbìn gan. Ìdí ni wípé nitrogen tó wà nínú ìgbẹ́ yẹn, ìgbẹ́ adìẹ yẹn ní tútù yẹn, kò sí ní ipò tó jẹ́ wípé plant tá a gbìn ó lè rí lò immediately. A máa ń pe kinní kan ní ammonia. Ipò tó wà, ipò ammonia ni. Yóò need àkókò láti convert ara ẹ̀ kúrò ní ipò ammonia yẹn tí ó wá padà sí ipò tí ó ní tí plant lè ṣe kíni tó lè rí mú lò. The same ipò tó wà nínú fertilizer tó jẹ́ pé tá a bá ti fi sórí oko, plant yóò kàn rí yẹn lò ní. Kó tó di pé yóò padà sípò yẹn, ó máa ń gba àkókò díẹ̀. Òun náà ṣe ń gbà wá níyànjú pé tá a bá máa lo irú yẹn fàpẹẹrẹ, tá a bá ti kó kúrò níbi tí wọ́n kó sí, a gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ kó síbì kan kó gbẹ. So àkókò tó bá fi gbẹ yẹn yóò jẹ́ kí compound tá à ń pè ní ammonia yẹn kó fi break down. So tó bá ti wá gbẹ, a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá lè mú ká ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ apply sórí oko. Àní tó fẹ́ẹ́ fi ń dáa jù ni wípé kò kí ń ṣe àkókò tá a bá ti gbin oko tán tó wá nílò pé a fẹ́ fi fertilizer àti láwa gbé poultry manure yẹn wá, kò ní ṣiṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn o. Ìdí ni wípé state tó ń wà, a lot of compounds ló wà nínú ìgbẹ́ adìẹ, kò dàbí fertilizer tó jẹ́ pé compound mẹ́ta péré ló wà ń bẹ̀. So lọ́wọ́ kan tá a bá ti apply fertilizer tó mi bá ti kàn báyìí yóò dissolve ni, yóò dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa ṣiṣẹ́. Àmọ́ ìgbẹ́ adìẹ àbí ìgbẹ́ ewúrẹ́ àbí ìgbẹ́ màálù, wọ́n need a lot of processes. Àkọ́kọ́ wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ gbẹ. Lẹ́yìn ìgbà wọ́n bá gbẹ tán, lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà mo máa ń gba àwọn àgbẹ̀ níyànjú, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ lò ó, tán bá ti gbẹ, àkókò wo ni mo fẹ́ gbin ko? Màá gbin ko sí bóyá April àbí May ni mo fẹ́ gbin ko. Tó bá ti di bí irú February fàpẹẹrẹ, mo lè kó, màá kàn kó dà sórí oko, màá fọ́n ká lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ kó wà ń bẹ̀. Tí ò bá ti sí níbi tó jẹ́ pé tí ì bá ṣoko tó jẹ́ pé àwọn èèyàn kan lè wá kán wá jí lọ, tóró ń ṣẹlẹ̀ dáadáa, mo ti rí lókè ọ̀yà. So tí n bá ti fọ́n sóko, òjò alákọ̀ọ́kọ́ tó ń rọ̀, òjò ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tó ń rọ̀, nígbà tójò ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹta, òjò bẹ́ẹ̀ mẹ́ta bá ti máa rọ̀ sí, yóò ti ṣe kíni, yóò ti máa wọnú lẹ́lẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. By the time tẹ́ bá lẹ fẹ́ prepare lẹ́yìn tẹ́ bá gbé tractor wá tí wọ́n kọlẹ̀ lọ, yóò yí ni. By the time tẹ́ bá sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ wá gbin ko, bí May kìnìkan, ó ti ń dúró dè yẹn nù lẹ̀ pé bó o ní ọ̀rẹ́, mo wà ń bí o. Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹlábẹ́yìn náà lẹ ṣe máa dáhùn èyí tó kù torí Yorùbá ni wọ́n fẹ́ fi béèrè ẹ̀. Àwọn bàbá wa jẹ́ ń fi ilé sí iná kó. Bàbá wa dárúkọ yín àti ìbéèrè yín ní ṣókí.
My name is Adebayo Isao, aka Babayin Kene. We appreciate you for lecture you have given us on this maize. So my question is, how can we eradicate the armywormers on our farm after planting?
All right, we'll just take one more. The last question from him. Are you Yoruba? Are you English?
Yorùbá, so, all right, direct.
Yeah. Orúkọ mi ni John Ọlátúbọ̀sún. A dúpẹ́ púpọ̀ fún sẹ́mínà yìí àbí program yìí. Ìbéèrè mi ni wípé bí ọ̀nkú mi ṣe béèrè, ìdáhùn yẹn kò lọ bí wọ́n ṣe béèrè question pé nígbà tí a bá kọ oko tán, tí a bá ń gbin àgbàdo wa, wọ́n ní a máa ń lo chemical láti fin oko yìí. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá a fi ọkọ́ ro. So tá a bá fi chemical fin, bí irú àpẹẹrẹ nísìn wọ́n mẹ́nu bà kí lorúkọ chemical tán mẹ́nu bà atrazine, but ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wà kí ń lo atrazine bí irú guard force, bí irú systemic select amino force. So atrazine wọn. So àwọn chemical tá a máa ń lò yìí pé ṣé kò ní effect lára àwọn àgbàdo wa débi pé yóò reduce n tó yẹ kó yíìdì fún wa. So question yẹn gangan ni wọ́n béèrè tí wọ́n fẹ́ kí ẹ bá ní dáhùn sí. So lẹ́yìn eléyìí, so lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí a harvest àgbàdo wa tán, a kì í ríbi láti ta àwọn àgbàdo wa sí tí ó lè fún wa ní èrè tó pọ̀. So kí ni àwọn àtúnṣe tí ó lè wáyé ń bẹ àbí ìrànlọ́wọ́ tẹ́ lè ṣe fún wa ní irú ìkórìtà yẹn? Ẹ ṣeun.
Ẹ bá wa fún ọ ní àtẹ́wọ́. Ṣé gan ni?
Maybe they need it in Yoruba. Okay, Baba, follow me home. There are so many types of chemicals in the market that they use for spraying the fall armyworm. We have the caterpillar force, and then we have there are so many of them. Yeah, but the caterpillar force, I think, is most commonly used around this area. That's what you need to buy, and yeah, caterpillar force. Yeah, so that's what you use. But of course, as I'm saying, there are so many types in the market. We in the old days when the fall armyworm started, there's this Ampligo, but Ampligo is no more there. It's even expensive to manage. So I think caterpillar force is readily available that you can use. So one of the things is that you start spraying as early. When you scout your field, and then if you see there is already infestation after emergency, you start it as early as possible. But because of the cost, maybe when you start it, you can do it once in a week. The frequency will be too much for you in terms of money too. But the earlier you start, the better to spray your field for fall armyworm. Thank you. Maybe you will do it in Europe.
Ẹ ṣeun ẹ̀yin bàbá wa àtàwọn ẹ̀yin ìyá wa ní tí wọ́n kàn sọ ní ráńpẹ́ fún wa ni pé caterpillar force ó wà lára àwọn kẹ́míkà tí a lè lò láti fi dojú ìjà kọ fall armyworm. So iṣẹ́ ìwádìí ń lọ lórí ẹ̀ gidigidi. Òun náà lèmi àti wọn náà ṣì ń sọ. A ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn varieties tó jẹ́ pé à ń fi ojú sùn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ wípé tó lọ́jọ́ iwájú kò ní nílò wípé a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa lọ kówó ra caterpillar force mọ́ àbí à ń lọ ra Ampligo àbí any other chemical tá a fẹ́ fi control a fẹ́ fi pa àwọn fall armyworm yìí. tó a ti ń ṣe iṣẹ́ ìwádìí òfìgbà kan dúró lórí ẹ̀. A ti ń fojú sùn àwọn àgbàdo kọ̀ọ̀kan wípé lọ́jọ́ iwájú ìwọ ó fẹ́ wúlò tó bá wà lórí oko armyworm ò lè jẹ́wọ́, tí wọ́n bá wà lórí oko táwọn àgbẹ̀ bá gbìn armyworm ò lè jẹ́. So iṣẹ́ ìwádìí yẹn ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Àmọ́ kó tó wá di pé ìwádìí yẹn yóò dé àkókò tí ó wúlò fún wa ìyẹn àwa àgbẹ̀ níta. So àkókò tó kù díẹ̀ fún wa a sì lè máa manage àwọn chemical bíi caterpillar force láti máa fi control àwọn fall armyworm yìí. Àwa náà tá à ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìwádìí náà lórí ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́, àwa náà ń lò ó dìgbà tí iṣẹ́ ó fi parí lórí ìwádìí ẹ̀. Mo wá padà sórí ìbéèrè tí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi béèrè lẹ́ẹ̀kan. Tẹ́ ní ṣe tí a bá fin oko wa pẹ̀lú pre-emergence tí wọ́n ṣe lálàyé fún wa lẹ́ǹkan ṣé kò ní pa àgbàdo wa lára? Ọ̀nà méjì ni yóò pín sí. Ọ̀nà àkọ́kọ́ òun ni pé tẹ́ ẹ bá fín lákòókò tó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fín kò ní pa àgbàdo lára. Tẹ́ ẹ bá fín lákòókò tí ó yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fín yóò pa àgbàdo lára. Ń dẹ̀ ṣàlàyé méjèèjì. Ọ̀nà tí ó gbà pa àgbàdo lára tẹ́ ẹ bá fín lákòókò tí kò yẹ kẹ́ ẹ fín òun ni wípé àgbàdo pé oríṣiríṣi gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn náà ṣiṣẹ́ lálàyé fún wa. Àgbàdo wà tó jẹ́ pé tẹ́ ẹ bá gbìn tẹ́ ẹ kì í bọlẹ̀ ní èní tó bá fi di ọ̀túnla ẹ ti rí tí ó ti máa gún abẹ́rẹ́ jáde. Àwọn míì sì wà à ń pè irú àwọn àgbàdo bẹ́ẹ̀ ní short duration maize varieties. Àwọn míì wà tẹ́ bá kì wọ́n bọlẹ̀ lénìí lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ 5 ọjọ́ 6 ọjọ́ 4 ọjọ́ 5 wọ́n á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa gún abẹ́rẹ́. À ń pè irú àwọn àgbàdo yẹn ní long duration maize variety. Irú àwọn àgbàdo yẹn ni tẹ́ bá gbìn wọ́n sórí oko kẹ́ ẹ tó lè rí àpẹẹrẹ pé ẹ fẹ́ ká èrè oko yóò tó bí láàrin 110 to 120 days. Irú àwọn èyí tí mo kọ́ sọ síwájú àwọn short duration tẹ́ bá gbìn àwọn yẹn láàrin 85 sí 95 days ẹ lè ká wọn lóko. So tí ẹ bá lọ gbìn fún àpẹẹrẹ short duration maize sóko wọ́n sì ti gbìn ko tán ní ká sọ pé wọ́n fọjọ́ méjì gbìn ko wọ́n gbìn ko lénìí wọ́n wá parí oko lọ́la. Ẹ̀yin wá rò pé iṣẹ́ la ṣe ẹ̀yin ọmọ ẹ jẹ́ á sinmi lọ́tùnla ẹ wá sinmi ẹ wá padà sóko níjọ́ kẹrin pé ẹ fẹ́ fin ko àgbàdo ti wò ó. So àgbàdo ti wò ó ẹ̀yin lè má fojú rí àmọ́ tẹ́ bá farabalẹ̀ wọlé dáadáa níbi tẹ́ ẹ gbìn wọ́n sí ẹ rí i pé wọ́n ti gún abẹ́rẹ́ o ìmí inú wọn yóò ti la ilẹ̀ báyìí pé òun fẹ́ jáde. So téèyàn bá wá fojú sí àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ò ní ó yá ẹgbẹ́ spraying tank wá abẹ́ ti háyà oníkatakata gbogbo wọn ti wá dé ó yá wọn ti fin ko lọ ẹ wá ń retí kágbàdo jáde lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ 5 pé kó wéwé disappointment ni o. So n tó tá à ń sọ ni wípé tí n bá ń gbin short variety and short duration maize tá a bá gbìn ko lénìí ibi tá a bá gbìn dé tó bá fi di ọ̀la ẹ fi débẹ̀ ẹ lè pínra yín sí méjì káwọn kan mọ gbìn tó kù lọ káwọn méjì òfin tá a ti gbìn lánàá yẹn ibi tán bá dé tó bá tún dọ̀tún la kán tún ṣe kí ni kí wọ́n tún fi yẹn náà. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀ pé a lè parí gbogbo oko ìlénìí ẹ já parí gbogbo ẹ̀ ká gbìn tán tó bá dẹ̀ ti dọlọ́la ká fin. Àmọ́ tá a bá ní ìdánilójú pé long duration maize la gbìn o tá a bá gbìn gbogbo ẹ̀ tán lénìí àtọ̀la a sì lè wá lọ́túnla ká wá fin kò sí wàhálà. So lédè kúkúrú kò ní da àgbàdo láàmú kò dẹ̀ ní ní àgbàdo lára tá a bá fin lásìkò tó yẹ kí a fin kò dẹ̀ ní nǹkan kan ṣe pẹ̀lú èrè oko rárá àtọ̀. So bí yẹn ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn ẹ ṣeun.
Yes, we want to thank all our scientists and facilitators for their explanations on the latest research that they have for us. Now, we'll go to the field. We'll take our pictures first. So, ẹ̀yin bàbá wa àti ìyá wa, ohun tí a sọ náà ni pé a ti parí nísìn, a máa wá lọ sí ibi tí a ti máa ṣe àfihàn àwọn nǹkan tí a ti kọ́ lórí oko nísìn. Tá bá parí, a sì máa padà wá bí báyìí. So, gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ti kọ́ wa bí báyìí, wọ́n á lọ fi wọ̀n wá ní orí oko. Bọ̀ nísìn, a fẹ́ ya fọ́tò níta. Ibẹ̀ la máa gbà lọ. Àwọn bọ́ọ̀sì tó máa gbé wa ti wà níta. Tá bá parí ní oko a máa padà wá sí bíbáyìí àwọn náà ló máa gbé wa padà wá sí bíbáyìí ẹ ṣé gan ni lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ fún gbogbo alátẹ̀wọ́ ẹ ṣé tó a lè lọ síta báyìí. ẹ lè filẹ̀ ìtàn bíbáyìí náà. Mo ti gbọ́ mic dání, mo fẹ́ drop mic yìí. I'll take him to the farm now, Abi. I'll hold it first.